Holy moly, is it ever gorgeous today. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pirate Ragnar Motovlog channel. It is Sunday, and that means taking a nice rip on malls. But it's also important to me. I know most of you will tune in today with the hopes of seeing some epic scenery, some great roads, or maybe just some tips and tricks. And I will do my best not to disappoint. But I do have something on my mind that I really need to get out because I miss him more than words can express. So let's get into it. For context, I want to talk about having lost someone. Now, I know we've all had loss. It's something life throws at us, and we have no choice but to take it. How we deal with that loss can come in a myriad of different ways, sometimes healthy, sometimes less so. It takes a lot to try and fill that hole that seems to exist in their absence. Over the years, I've slowly begun to realize how fruitless it was to try and replace him, to try not to think of him, and just suffer that gut-wrenching feeling when your brain realizes for the 1,000,000th time that you are never going to see their smile again. That their time here has passed, and what we're left with are happy memories that hurt to think of. Chris was my brother. He was my friend, and he was just a bright light in life. We connected quite young, and though I moved away in my teens, our bond remained as strong as ever. And to this day, I don't know of a better man. And I realize how incredibly biased that is. Chris was human. He was flawed. But he was our flawed Chris, and that meant the world. I spent a few years trying to deal with this in my own way, which, if I'm honest, was primarily just attempting to think about it as little as possible. And how tragic is that? I can't count the number of amazing memories that I have with Chris. And because he's passed, I went and tried to forget them. Now, I realize how terrible a mistake that was. Those memories might come with a burden, a weight that doesn't seem to get lighter, but the joy and the happiness is still there, and I deserve to relive those instead of just feeling the hurt and the loss.
So, who was Chris? Anyway, now that I've mentioned him. Chris attended the Citadel right out of high school. It's a military college. He was in JROTC before that, so it wasn't really a surprise to any of us. He believed strongly in fighting for his country and for our freedoms. Now, I'll be the first to admit, when I was younger, I hated that he joined up. I couldn't, for my life, understand why he did it. But I knew Chris at heart. I knew the reasons that he joined and what America and his family meant to him. So politics aside, Chris found himself overseas on a number of occasions. And he always came back, until he didn't. A few years ago, he sustained small arms fire with his squad. We don't really know many more details than that. It hasn't been disclosed to the family. But the result was the same. We were devastated. But Chris and I, we had fun together when we were kids, man. You would have been hard-pressed to find us apart. And when we were together and we weren't working, it usually meant that we had skateboards, even though we were rubbish at it, and some Red Bull. So, on that note, Chris, this one's for you, bud. Cheers. I can't believe I used to drink this stuff.
So what does all of this have to do with the motorcycle channel, right? Loss comes in a lot of forms. and motorcycle culture is not a stranger to that concept. We are all taking our lives in our hands when we get on our bikes and ride out into the wind. And tragically, very tragically, sometimes we don't come back. Here in BC this year already, we have had just too many fatalities. And I'm not here today to point fingers. I just want to talk about their memories and what we ought to do about it. And you know, for me, I'd lost plenty of people that I've met over the years. You don't have a weird history like mine and not have lost a bunch of people. But this was the first time that it hit me in the way that losing Chris did. So months and years went by, and I found myself avoiding thinking about him at all. It just hurt. You know, it might make me smile for a second, but then I'd break down for much, much longer, each and every time. And in the end, I finally realized that it just isn't fair. It's not fair to Chris, and it's not fair to his sacrifice. I know how much it would have affected him to see anyone that he cares about feeling like that. So it's my job to honor that, to look past the pain of missing him, to see the joy and love that we shared, and continue to live through that instead. We need to love ourselves and our departed loved ones enough to push through those feelings and once again revel in the memories that bring them back to life, even just for a moment. Now, geez, I know this isn't the lighthearted content that we usually find on this channel, and I do appreciate everyone for hearing me out. And I don't want to leave this video off without some kind of tip or advice, so from a heavy heart, I just want to encourage everyone to keep a hold of those happy memories, to build as many as we can with those we love and care about. And should the worst happen and they're taken from us, remember that their love and memory lives on, provided that we let it. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for your support on this channel and just hearing me out today. I really look forward to some more wrenching on Wednesday, so until then, ride safe and ride fun, and I will see you on the next video.
What was that? Where is it? Did you hear it too? Where is it? What? Dexter, where is it? Can you find it? Where is that thing?